But let's go to WA for the latest on the damage that storm has done to the Western Australia's power supply. We're joined on the line by Miriam Borthwick, who's the spokeswoman for Western Power. Miriam, thanks for your time this morning. I've seen this situation being described as seriously scary for your workers who are out there trying to get power back.
Yes, we're thinking that this is actually the most extensive damage from one single storm that the network's ever experienced. It's been extremely widespread, so from Geraldton all the way around through to southeast at Ravensthorpe. That figure of 161,000 customers without power yesterday, we did manage to restore about 45,000 overnight, so we've still got 116,000 without power. And it is quite likely that a number of homes could be without power for as long as a week because there are so many jobs on the system needing attention.
You were talking about the sort of obstacles that many of your workers face. Is there a lot of cleaning up that has to be done first before they can get to that business of restoring power?
Yes, the very first thing that our crews always do is to try and make every area safe before they restore power. We've got hundreds and hundreds of power lines down and street light wires and individual customer household wires. So the crews have been really battling against the odds when the damage is as extensive as this. What Western Power is going to do today is actually divert some staff who are not crews just to go out and be what's called wire watchers and stand and just keep areas safe. The greatest anxiety has been the amount of safety hazards and live wires down. And, of course, with streetlights not working, people are not going to be able to see them. So it's been a real anxiety overnight to get to as many of these safety hazards first, make them safe, then move on to the next one.
With the expectation that it could take a week for some homes to get power back, that's a long time. Have you thought about trying to get people from other states to come in and assist?
Yeah, I'm sure this morning at conference calls that will be discussed. We've certainly cancelled all our maintenance work and other planned work and diverted every crew onto emergency work. We do operate, of course, 24 hours a day and are able to ramp up with contractors. So at 6 a.m, I know we've got a lot of new crews coming on at Perth time, that is. Yes, whether we're going to have to call on our eastern states colleagues, I'm not quite sure at the moment. I would think it will be considered.
For the people in Perth, though, who have been affected, can you give them some idea how the work will progress in terms of, are you looking at specific areas and then working, to other areas?
Yes. Look, the very first thing to do, as I say, is make areas safe. We have gone to some of the edge of grid towns right down in the Great Southern and heading east who don't have a lot of support and need to get their small hospitals or health clinics up and running. So we have already restored power to Bremer Bay, Ravensthorpe, Denmark. The next round will be to the jobs or the faults that have the most customers off or affected, and then we get larger numbers back on. Then we work down to the smaller and smaller jobs. But because this is actually a lot of damage to the distribution or the small voltage network, we've got 1,500 jobs logged on the system. So there's 8,000 out in an area called Baldivis, but that could be many faults in that, not just one fault needing restoration.
Sounds like an enormous task ahead. We wish you well with it today.
Thanks, Beverly.
That's Miriam Borthwick from Western Power.